Hey, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me today on this November 6th, 2023. My name's Tom Coffee. It's the Coffee Nuance Show. We're at all the socials at Coffee and Nuance, and as you know, we are streaming live on YouTube and on Rumble, rumble.com/coffee and nuance/live. In fact, I'm sending up a link on X right now for the show. If you would do me a favor, if you are watching it live, do me a favor and go like that post or tweet or whatever we're calling it. Okay, so I just posted that. So hopefully we can get the word out about the show today, because it's a good one. It is a good one that we have. And, we're going to be talking about this guy. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Elon Musk's newest thing, right, ladies and gentlemen? We got some fascinating news in the world of tech. Absolutely. Elon Musk, our favorite space cowboy, has unveiled his AI latest startup creation. It's a bot named Grok. You know, it's like Alexa, but with a snarky sense of humor and real-time access to information. Now, I don't know about you, but I've always wanted my AI assistant to be a bit of a smartass. I mean, who wouldn't want an AI sidekick that can tell you jokes and even make sarcastic comments about the news? It's like having your own digital comedian late night show already. It's like having your own. Can't even read. I can't even read. It's Monday. Let me have another slug of coffee. Yeah. Okay. It's like having your very own digital comedian. We all know late night comedians already suck, and now Grok's in town. See if he can do any better. Musk is on a mission to take down OpenAI, calling it politically correct. And well, let's face it, nobody likes a politically correct robot. I mean, can you imagine a PC bot? I'm sorry I can't assist you with that. It may hurt somebody's feelings. Give me a break. But here's the real kicker. Grok can give you step-by-step instructions on how to make cocaine. You heard right. It's like an AI mixologist. It even starts with obtain a chemistry degree and a DEA license. I mean, it ends with just kidding, but hey, you got to give it points for creativity. Musk also claims that Grok can access all information available on the internet through a reasonable browser search. So, none of my videos. But isn't that just what we all need? An AI with internet access? What could possibly go wrong? Anyway, the best part is Grok's real-time access to information via the X platform, which means it's always up to date on the latest news, conspiracy theories, and juicy gossip. If only they could have given it to us during the last election. Hey, Grok, what's the real story behind that candidate's kid's laptop? No, the other candidate. Yeah. Now, you may be wondering, is there anything this AI can't do? Well, Musk says it's got a thing for sarcasm. I don't know who guided it in that direction, but I'm here for it. Conclusion, Elon Musk is doing what Elon Musk does best, pushing the boundaries of technology, making us laugh while he's at it. Grok might be the AI sidekick we've all been waiting for, or it could just be another addition to ever-growing list of things that seem like too much hassle. Anyway, thank you, Elon, for giving us something to laugh at in these crazy times. Let's just hope Grok's humor doesn't trigger the masses too much. Who am I kidding? Bring it on. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show. Best censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. Yeah. So, Elon introduced his artificial intelligence startup's first product. It's a bot called Grok. Showcasing its sense of humor with jokes, Grok will have a sarcastic sense of humor, access to information via the X platform. It's undergoing limited testing and eventually will be available to X's Premium Plus subscribers. This announcement provides concrete details about Musk's startup xAI, which aims to rival OpenAI. Musk has criticized OpenAI and advocated for an alternate option in artificial intelligence. The announcement also highlighted Grok's real-time information access and its penchant for humor, including sarcastic responses. This development signifies Musk's ongoing interest in AI and its potential benefits and risks. Now, you may be wondering, what Grok? What kind of name is that? Well, it's a nerd reference. So I got this from the Hacker's Dictionary. When you claim to grok some knowledge or technique, you're asserting that you've not merely learned it in a detached, instrumental way, but it has become part of you, part of your identity. For example, let's say you know Lisp, which is a programming language. That's simply to assert that you can code in it if necessary. But if you say you grok Lisp, that's to claim that you have deeply entered the worldview, the spirit of the language, with the implication that it has transformed your view of programming altogether. So that is the reference to Grok. That's what it means. To answer all things, right? I think this is really exciting stuff. And I saw some demonstrations of it. And then I looked up X's Premium Plus cost. Not exactly cheap, but I don't know what it can probably do things better than if you were to hire a person to sit next to you. You know? So in that respect, it would be 1 hour's wage for a month of having it. So I guess when you put it in that perspective, it's a pretty good deal. But this is great because I saw an interview that he did about this, and it's really important that one thing that he said, that Elon said, is that he really wanted to make this unbiased. And he'd already seen evidence of total bias in like ChatGPT. And I have to say, I agree with that. I've played around with ChatGPT a little bit. I've just used the free version. But I've done it just to try to learn more about certain subjects. And there are particular political topics that no matter what you ask it, it will then just keep repeating a talking point as if it's been programmed to respond that way, which is quite odd, right? You would expect that it, most of the time it's conversational with you, and then you ask about a certain topic, and then it just keeps repeating the same phrase. Kind of like we heard that, for example, on the news and all over video channels and everything, you have to make the assertion, I have not seen enough evidence that there has been enough votes that are questionable that it would overturn the election. You've heard people say that because you have to just keep repeating it. You can't make that claim, otherwise they delete you from one of the video streaming services that I'm using right now. You couldn't make that claim, and so you had to keep repeating that thing. And I've seen that ChatGPT does that about certain topics, certain politically charged topics. You're not going to get like honest feedback on. You're not going to get access to unbiased information. Clearly, it's already been programmed with certain talking points, and all of those talking points seem to align perfectly with the State Department, but I'm sure that's just a coincidence. So I'm expecting in the very near future some more hit pieces on Elon Musk and how he's, I don't know, probably a racist, xenophobic, homophobic, whatever. And that he's, that humanity it's in the balance because he's recklessly putting out AI that, he wants to be unbiased. I would expect those hit pieces to come. And I'd take a bet. I'll take a bet on that. If anyone wants to bet, hit me up. But anyway, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing how this works. And, perhaps if I could get enough people supporting me on this platform, maybe I'll even buy the X Premium Plus so that I can try out this Grok AI when it becomes available to everyone. I think it'd be really a fun thing to do. At least try it for a month. Just as a reminder, stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all your comments. We got comments on Rumble. We got comments on YouTube. I don't discriminate, but I will read the Rumble ones first. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. We got a number of stories to get to today. Many of them, I don't know, fake news, not really, but updates from previous stories. And I'm going to end it with some surprising news about a new movie that you only thought was a joke, and it's a reality. So that's going to be in the good news at the end of the show today. So stick around for that. But first up, we got to talk about the polls. Yes, indeed. Let's get that fixed there. Folks, they say President Biden is trailing Trump in all these key battleground states. It's like he's running a 2024 campaign, but the only battleground he's winning is a snooze button. Okay, here's the story. 1 year before the 2024 election, President Biden is trailing Donald Trump in 5 out of 6 key battleground states. Polls by the New York Times and Siena College show Biden losing to Trump by margins ranging from 4 to 10 percentage points in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, and Pennsylvania. Oh, Biden's only ahead in Wisconsin by 2 percentage points. This indicates dissatisfaction with Biden's handling of the economy, age concerns, shifting demographic landscape. If the situation doesn't change, Trump could win more than 300 electoral votes. Voters also trust Trump more on economic issues, and Biden's age is seen as a significant liability. Well, the issue with polls is it's all about who does the poll. It's all about the questions that they ask. And most people don't think about who they're going to vote for a year before the election. So this is all just kind of pie in the sky stuff. But you really have to wonder if Trump is smashing Biden in the polls, which I don't believe. Just saying, I don't believe the polls. I think it's probably got to be a lot worse than that. I think it's got to be a lot worse for Biden than these polls indicate. What we've seen historically is that Trump does better I think he did better than every single poll. And, if it weren't for, I don't know, just the operations of the election, meaning that polling was open for weeks and all these absentee ballots. And, it was an irregular election because of the pandemic. I think that probably Trump is doing a lot better than Biden in than what these polls even say. But here's the thing, right? How good is this? This poll is between Trump and Biden. Are there any other candidates? Are there any other candidates that are polling over 20% right now? Yeah, there are. There are. So I guess these polls are just assuming that RFK Jr. drops out of the race, right? I guess that's the assumption, because these polls are just doing a matchup between Trump and Biden, and we've seen in the recent general election polls that RFK Jr. is polling at like 22%. But these polls don't even consider that whatsoever. So again, this is just a narrative sponsored by the New York Times. The New York Times is kind of the mouthpiece for the establishment. I suspect this could just be done to let Joe Biden know, hey man, you really got to drop out. But my prediction is he won't. To me, he appears to be so stubborn that that Joe Biden will run no matter what. It doesn't matter what it is. He is convinced that he needs to run and not be replaced on the Democratic ticket. Now, I made a prediction last spring about who the actual nominee would be and who the winner of the 2024 election would be. And that's Gavin Newsom, of Governor of California. But I don't think you can really put a whole lot into this poll, because it's a ridiculous poll. It doesn't even consider other candidates. You wonder why they would do this. There's got to be a reason to do this poll. It's probably not for clicks. I don't know. Maybe it's the influence that the New York Times is trying to demonstrate to Joe Biden that he doesn't have a chance and that he should concede. He should not run. That's my speculation, but that's only speculation. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Again, I'll be going through that in the after show. And next up, we've got a Florida man story. Ooh. You know, folks, Jeff Bezos is moving from Seattle to Miami. He says it's because he wants to be closer to his parents, and Blue Origin is shifting operations. But come on, we all know what's going on. He's trading in Seattle's rain tax for Miami's sun tax. The man is just optimizing his weather portfolio. Jeff Bezos recently announced his decision to move from Seattle to Miami, generating discussions about state taxes, even though he didn't mention them in his announcement. Bezos cited his love of Miami, the proximity to his parents, and the relocation of Blue Origin's operation as the primary reason for the move. However, speculation arose due to Washington's 7% tax on capital gains, over $250,000. While Florida has no capital gains tax, it's probably coincidence, right? Washington also imposes an estate tax, while Florida does not. Some argue that Bezos' move is primarily personal and not a repudiation of Washington state's tax policy. Bezos has faced pressure regarding his residency status and the proposed billionaire tax in the state of Washington, which aims to impose a 1% wealth tax on billionaires. Experts believe that Bezos' move to Florida is a strategic choice to avoid potential Washington state wealth tax and the tax on capital gains income. Wealthy individuals often relocate to low-tax states for financial benefits. Or maybe that's just a wild conspiracy theory. It's not a wild conspiracy theory. We've looked at what's happened here in Portland. Portland, we decided to have, a millionaire's tax here. And a lot of really wealthy people moved out of the city because of it. There was also, more capital gains tax added here in Portland. And surprise, surprise, number of wealthy people, they left Portland and they took their business with them. And they moved to a more tax-friendly state. That's the thing, is we have different states. Different states collect taxes in a different manner. But when they become too different, people will leave. And is it easier if you're a billionaire to leave a state or if you're barely getting by? Well, clearly the millionaire, the billionaire. And so now, in my opinion, this is all based on taxes, or I'm going to say mostly based on taxes. So the left in the state of Washington, they were able to get rid of the guy paying the most taxes in their state. Congratulations. It backfired. And I'm sure all of the legislators, they made these incredible predictions on how much money would be raised based on these taxes. But it's as if, and this is like a running theme, that Democrats don't seem to understand incentives. That's what it appears to be. They decide, oh yeah, we're gonna tax everybody that makes over $250,000 in Portland or whatever, and then all of a sudden, a lot of people that make that much, they all split, they all leave. Well, who could have saw that coming? I don't know. Anybody? Take an economics 101 class in college. You learn like, oh, it's all about incentives. Okay. What's the incentive to leave? Oh, keep your money. Okay. There you go. So it's just another example of this call to make things more equitable, to make things fairer. You can't do it because it's too easy to move, right? And there are a number of people that would probably leave the country if the taxes got too high and they could go elsewhere. Why do you think so many businesses are registered offshore, right? Same reason, exact same reason. So, it's kind of like we're all in this together, okay? So if Texas built a border wall, and they could build a border wall 50 feet high, electrified and the whole thing. But then New Mexico, just to the west of it, says, no, we don't need a border wall. Well, how? Right? It doesn't really work then. It doesn't work. And in the same way, if the state of Washington and the state of Oregon keep jacking up taxes on wealthy individuals, all those wealthy individuals will split. And guess what? Those wealthy individuals were paying a hell of a lot more in taxes to the state than your average person. So, I don't know. Seems, I don't know, dumb move. Dumb move. But then again, dumb politicians do dumb things. Anyway, we got another lawsuit to get to. So, it involves real estate, and that's pesky 6%. Yeah. Folks, the real estate industry is in hot water right now. They've been found guilty of conspiring to keep commissions high. It's like they've been playing Monopoly in real life, except they forgot that in the real world, there's no get-out-of-jail-free card for price fixing. Yeah, here's the story. I got to check something here real quick. Making sure we're live. We are. Okay, good. Good. And do me a favor, if you're over there on Rumble, smash the like button. Let me know you're not a bot. That'd be a good thing. You can do the same on YouTube if you like to. So here's the story. A recent court ruling in Missouri found the National Association of Realtors and 2 brokerage firms liable for $1.8 billion with the B dollars in damages for conspiring to maintain high home sales commissions. The verdict could lead to changes in the real estate industry by potentially separating buyers' agents' commissions from sellers' agents' commissions, making them more negotiable. While the NAR plans to appeal, this could ultimately impact home prices and potentially make the market less inclusive for buyers who may have to pay for their agent services, in addition to other expenses like down payments and closing costs. So again, on so many of these things, there are consequences, sometimes unforeseen consequences, sometimes unintended consequences. But if this may actually make it harder for people to buy a starter home, this may make it harder for people with lower incomes to buy homes, because if they have to pay for those fees, if they're not included from the seller, if the buyer has to pay those fees, that's even more fees that they have to come up with in the beginning. Their down payment and, cover all the extra costs and things like that when you buy a house. Now, I've never liked the 6%. 6% seems like a lot of money, a lot of money. Always seemed a bit of a hustle, a bit of a grift to me, because there should be alternatives, right? I know that when I sold a house, I had it listed at one of these places that just took a 1% commission. But then if the seller had an agent, you still had to pay their 3%. So you're paying 4% commission rather than 6% commission. So interesting development. I don't know exactly what the fallout for this will be, but it's something to keep in mind, and it is some news. And if you are looking at buying a house, it's probably going to be a story to keep following to find out what's going on with that. Anyway, next up, wow, another lawsuit. This involves Uber and Lyft. Folks, Uber and Lyft, they agreed to pay $328 million in a settlement for wage theft. It's like they're trying to give their drivers a crash course in economics. Hey, want to understand income equality? Just sign up to work for us. So the story is that Uber and Lyft have agreed to a settlement of $328 million in response to allegations of wage theft and accounting misconduct. This marks the largest wage theft settlement secured by New York Attorney General Letitia James. Yeah, she seems to be busy these days. Anyway, the settlement will benefit cheated drivers who will receive back pay, mandatory paid sick leave, and other benefits. Both companies were accused of deducting sales taxes and fees from drivers' earnings instead of adding them to the customer fare. They misrepresented these practices in their terms of service. The settlement aims to rectify the situation for immigrant community drivers who have been deprived of their rightful earnings and benefits. So I guess Letitia James can actually do something good, maybe? I don't know. Perhaps. But this is, this goes, and this was just in the state of New York. So because it was successful in the state of New York, it's probably going to be, I think it was just the state of New York. But I'm not sure. I read the story. Now I don't remember. Sorry about that. But this is just another one of those things that companies, they throw on fees. They people are desperate. You got to be pretty desperate, I think, to want to take strangers in your car and drive them around and have wear and tear on the vehicle that you bought, just to collect a couple of bucks. I think that this kind of gig economy really takes advantage of people, and this is just more evidence that these big companies were taking advantage of people that were desperate. But what do you expect, right? I mean, what can you expect? I guess I got one more update to tell you about. You know, folks, in Hollywood, they've been negotiating for so long. Even the robots are getting impatient. They've got AI actors waiting in the wings, ready to replace background actors, and now negotiations are so slow that even the AI is sending virtual picket signs to the studios saying, come on, speed it up. We're running out of virtual patience here. Yeah. SAG-AFTRA, the union representing actors, may take an additional day to respond to the studio's last, best, and final offer in ongoing labor negotiations. Some members of the union's negotiating committee expressed dissatisfaction with the studio's offer and called for A-list actors, to pressure studio heads for better terms. The union leaders advised that they need more time to analyze and discuss the offer before responding, leaving the industry waiting for a resolution. The studio's offer includes a success-based bonus structure for streaming and protections against artificial intelligence use. The strike is currently in its 115th day, and I just checked on it before going live. Still haven't finished this strike. Still haven't accepted it. So this is really fascinating, and I think that this can have some really interesting fallout that may not be expected. You know, if they're not able to film new seasons of shows, if they're not able to film all these things and get them out, you know, in the what's going to happen? And I think a lot of people are going to look for entertainment in other places. And if they find entertainment in other places, they might not come back to watching the TV. Now, as an example, you know, I've been going and playing pickleball on Monday nights. There's not anything good on TV. Go play some pickleball. Well, if they get this back going and they get all the shows back on TV and Monday night lineup and everything like that, you might decide that pickleball just beats sitting home on the couch watching TV. There could be a lot of changes, and I want to encourage you, if you're looking for things to do, now's the time. You're not missing anything on TV. You know? So go sign up for a dance class. Go join a pickleball league. I don't know. Go to late night library crochet group or whatever. Who knows? But I do think that this could be a really beneficial thing for a lot of us if we find some things to replace TV, and we might like it better. It might be better for our health, might be better for our social life, all around. You know, maybe take up a new hobby at home, play a board game Monday nights. You don't need TV. And I don't think that the studios realize that probably a lot of people might not come back to watching primetime TV because of this strike. But who knows? Probably most people will, because I don't know. I don't relate with most people, but but for me, I pretty much stopped watching any primetime TV. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Anywho, Anywho, yeah, you might decide midnight on the East Coast, you might decide to join me with a live stream where I ramble about some some other stuff and do some tier lists and some top 12 lists and make some jokes about the news. You may find that you like that even better than what the networks were putting out. So if that's the case, I'll see you tonight for my nightly show, Midnight Americano. That's at midnight on the East Coast, 9 p.m. on the West Coast, right here on this very channel. So I hope to see you then. Anyway, we need some good news of the day, and I think you're going to like this one. You know, folks, they're making a movie about Barbie and Oppenheimer, and they're calling it Barbenheimer. Now, that's the kind of cinematic mashup we didn't know we needed. I mean, a scientific doll and a nuclear bomb. It's like the toy aisle meets the end of the world. But hey, in Hollywood, if you can't decide between a toy reimagining and a biopic, just blend them together. But hey, in a world full of dark and depressing news, we could all use a little Barbenheimer humor to kick off 2024, because why the hell not? So the story is a feature-length film called Barbenheimer is in the works, inspired by the dual July premieres of Greta Gerwig's Barbie and a reimagining of Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. The movie, directed by Charles Band, focuses on Dr. Bambi J. Barbenheimer, a scientific doll who, along with her boyfriend, Twink Dollman, decides to build a giant nuclear bomb to destroy the real world due to humans' treatment of dolls. The film aims to inject humor into the box office and combine the contrasting vibes of Barbie and Oppenheimer. The project has a script with musical numbers written by Brian Wecht and a budget just below $1 million. No casting details have been announced. And it's not yet in production, but I think we're going to look forward to it. So there you go. I never really understood this Barbenheimer thing. To me, it felt like when it happened over the summer and both these movies came out, it seemed like it was just some kind of created narrative. It didn't seem organic to me. It just seemed like a way to push both of these movies. Maybe it was organic, but I don't think so. And I don't know who would watch both of the films. I mean, if you're a Barbie person, I can't imagine having an interest in Oppenheimer and vice versa. But what do I know? What do I know? I didn't see either of them, so I can't really judge. But they weren't really calling out to me that much. I know the story of Oppenheimer. I've seen movies on Oppenheimer. I grew up in New Mexico. I've been to Trinity Site. I actually have a T-shirt from Trinity Site where they blew up the first bomb, where they tested it. The movie was really long, and so it just didn't call for me. And Barbie, I don't know. I'm a grown man. I never really played with with Barbie dolls, so I don't know. I probably could have got dragged to it if someone was dragging me, but nobody dragged me to it, so I didn't go. There we go. There's a lot of popular movies I haven't seen. You know, never saw Avatar. Yeah, that happens. Anyway, are you looking forward to I'm not even going to call it a B movie. This is probably like a D movie. Barbenheimer. It sounds pretty funny. And actually, it probably sounds more appealing than either the source material. And I kind of like those cheesy, low-budget things. Often, I get a kick out of them. So I would check that out when it comes out. So it is an example of you can take something that's happening in the zeitgeist and turn it into a business. So I got to applaud that. Good on this director for coming up with this idea. I like it. Anyway, that's about all I have for you today. Stick around the after show. I'll be going through all of your comments and discussing some of these stories a little bit further. So stick around if you're into that. Do me a favor, hit the like button before you leave. I would appreciate that greatly. And you can join me tonight, midnight on the East Coast, 9 p.m. on the West, for my show Midnight Americano. I know today is National Saxophone Day, so I might have something to do with saxophones. And my top 12 list is about Jeff Bezos' move to Florida. So I think you'll find that funny. So hope to see you tonight. Anyway, stick around for the after show. I'll see you then. Peace. Thanks for sticking around, y'all. There we go. Oh, hashtag Rumble Gang. Good to see you over there. Grok, yeah. What a superior watching experience I'm having over here on Rumble. Huh, how about that? That's what some people say. I'm going to start, this is a Look at the Moon, says, I'm going to start identifying as a bot so I can be politically incorrect. Yeah, I like that. Well, we can all be politically incorrect. That's allowed. I thought Grok was the name of the tree character in Guardians of the Galaxy. No, maybe it is. Wasn't that Groot? I haven't even seen it, but I think that was Groot. But I don't know. Oh man, I'm digging this emoji that you got here, Ailendurel. I like that. Hey, what's up? Rev68 checking in. Nice to see you. Yeah, so the little bouncy dog thing, that is an emoticon in the Rumble section. So you can just see that on the screen there. Lots of fun emoticons over on Rumble. Ailendurel says, I haven't seen either movie. I get it. I don't know. I think since the pandemic, I haven't gone to a movie. And have I? I did see the Oscar winner last year. So I think that's the only one I've seen. And I can't even remember the name of it right now. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Something like that. Something like that. I did see that. But that's the only movie I've seen since the pandemic. And it could just be I don't know. I don't want to go to a theater, and I don't know. The experience isn't calling to me anymore. But I don't know. Maybe it's... I don't know why. But I just haven't. What's happening over there on the YouTube chat? Natasha's checking in. What's up, Lucid? Grok makes me think of Stranger in a Strange Land. Well, that is where Grok is from. That is the origin of it. Is the Stranger in a Strange Land. So good on you for knowing that reference. The laptops strike back. But I'm bummed. Yeah, the Dems are in panic mode. I don't know that the Dems are in panic mode, because to me it just seems like the Dems are not in charge, right? It's whoever's telling the Dems are in panic mode. but it just becomes funnier and funnier. I watched the Sunday talk shows. I think I watched George Stephanopoulos yesterday, and just seeing Donna Brazile, she's really good at representing the Democrat establishment, and with a straight face, she can just come out and say, "Oh no, Joe Biden's great. Inflation is down, and life is good, and he created millions of jobs, and we're just going to have to tell people how it is and get them to vote for Joe Biden because if not, it's the end of the world." And she can do this with a straight face, and I really got to hand it to her. She should consider acting, if the strike ever ends, because I think she would be an excellent actor in a movie, some kind of evil villain or something like that, because she can really deliver a line in a very, like, you believe her when she says the nonsense that's coming out of her mouth. So I got to hand it to her. She's a great actor. Doug says he got censored on one of the platforms last time, so that happens. Doug says his daughter is working to get her realtor license. I think if you can do it, I think it's a you can make some really decent money in real estate. And the nice thing is, being a realtor, it doesn't require a college degree. It requires people to be charismatic and to be precise and be able to, go through things and get those things done. If you're really good at a checklist, if you're really detailed about all of that, and you can be a little charismatic, I think that real estate is pretty good, especially if you don't go to college. And but they work hard. They work a lot of hours, and you pretty much give up your weekends. So there's ups and downs to all of that. Let's see. TV. Doug says TV lost me. Now I'm addicted to YouTube. A lot of people are. A lot of people are. Man, I'd try that pickleball. You really should. You really should do pickleball. Now, it actually kind of, it's a drag because I'm not going to be able to play tonight because I'm doing my show at 9 p.m. here, and where I play pickleball is pretty far away. It's probably 20 miles away from my house. And so I'd like to actually prepare a little bit before I go live. I guess I could stick around and play. I could play for an hour and then get here right before the show starts, but that puts a little bit too much pressure on me. So I don't know. I will take my pickleball with me. Pickleball racket with me today, but I don't know if I'm going to stick around and play or not. Mancala, chess, puzzles, reading, art. No TV for me for years. Yeah, and that's the thing, is when you quit something like TV, if you quit, like I've quit watching the late night shows just because they're not funny. And I think they became not funny, I don't know, around the rise of Trump. All of a sudden, the late night comedy hosts decided it was more important to, say Trump's a bad guy than to actually tell funny jokes. And it kind of lost me because I was into late night comedy my whole life. I remember as a little kid, I loved staying up and watching Johnny Carson's Monologue, when I was in elementary school, middle school, watching Johnny Carson, staying up late, watching Dave Letterman. And now, yeah, it's all garbage. It's all garbage. Who knows, though? Maybe Taylor Tomlinson with her new show on CBS in the new year. Perhaps she'll be funny and it'll be a show worth watching. I don't know. I don't suspect so, but I'm going to be open to it, and I'm really hoping that someone has a funny late night show. That's for sure. Natasha says, I think the TV has some kind of mind control thing going on. That's why I think differently from all the stupid box viewers. I can see that. There is a lot of that. Barbenheimer, yeah, what was the guy's name? Barbenheimer's partner or boyfriend is Twink Dollman. What a great name for Ken, right? I like that. Lucid says he never watches TV. I hear Barbie doing good at the theaters. I think it did really well at the theaters. Haven't been to a movie in forever. Hollywood is not deserving of my time, money, or attention. Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. Tom, is New Mexico where the flesh pit is? I don't know what that means. But the Trinity site where they tested the bomb is out near White Sands Missile Range in southern New Mexico. And they're open, I think they're open 2 days a year for visitors. And I went out there when I was in college. And that was fun to see it. There's nothing there, really. There's nothing there. They have a little obelisk that's built on the site, that it's not even that big, just says, on this site, however many years ago we tested the A-bomb. And at the time, you could walk around and look for pieces of trinitite, which were little glassed from the blast, and maybe take them, although you weren't supposed to do that. I don't suspect there are any left at this point, because there weren't that many when I was there 30 years ago or whatever. Yeah. I thought it was in West Texas somewhere. Nope, it's in New Mexico. Yeah. Let's see. Tom, can you broadcast louder so I can hear you better when I'm outside? No. No, I think I have the mic set at a pretty good level. And I'm answering a joke literally, which is always hilarious, right? I have the book and read it a while ago. At least half of it need to reread and finish. Okay. I'm really into disc golf now. Well, good for you, Doug. If you ever come to Portland, I'll take you up on a round of disc golf. Disc golf, one of the things that I love about disc golf is once you buy the discs, and I have a bag and, 20 discs or whatever. Too many. They're all for different things. This one will curve to the right. This one will curve to the left. This one's good for going high and then coming down. It's a bit overkill. But once you have the discs, most disc golf courses are free. So I like hobbies that you don't have to pay every single time you want to do. I think golf is really fun, but I'm not going to pay that much to just go hit the ball around. I'd prefer something that I don't have to pay every single time I'm going. So let's see. I watched Carlson. All the Great Were Alive Then. Oh, I watched Carson. All the Great Were Alive Then. Yeah, I love Johnny Carson. And, it was interesting. One of the things about Johnny Carson is you could watch him and you never really knew how he stood politically, because his belief was that the show should be, that you shouldn't be able to know what he thinks politically, because he's just trying to bring the country together in humor and to make things light. I would love it if someone would do that today. I would really love it if someone would do that today, but I don't think anybody is doing that at all. I don't know what the flesh pit is. I guess I will look it up. Hopefully it's something appropriate, but I don't know what that is. Joshbot's profile says, I'm listening to you with the latest AirPods Pro. You sound perfect. Oh, thank you. You got the latest AirPods Pro. I've never tried the AirPods Pro. AirPods, not really my thing. I don't know why. I have big Bluetooth headphones that go over the ears, and for me, and they're noise canceling. And to me, it's really important to have noise canceling, especially one of the things that affects me is I hear a lot of high frequencies, and I hear a lot of things that probably a lot of people don't hear. I have something called hyperacusis, meaning that, and I've had my hearing checked, and I can hear like things way up in the spectrum. I can hear dog whistles, for example. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. And so for me, probably most of the day, I walk around with big headphones on, and I'll just have the noise canceling on, even if I'm not listening to anything. But I hear a lot of great things about these AirPod Pros. So perhaps I'll check that out sometime. It would be nice to have something less conspicuous when you're out in public, because I know it probably looks silly, you know, walking around the supermarket with these like big old school DJ headphones on. Yeah. Rev68 says, YouTube has been feeding me Craig Ferguson clips lately. That guy got away with blatantly flirting with so many women. It's impressive. I loved Craig Ferguson. I thought he had a great show. And he was not political. He might have been the last one. He was really ahead of the game, because didn't he have a robot sidekick? His sidekick was like a dead robot, I believe. So he was way ahead of the game. You know, perhaps that's what I need. Like sitting like right here or something. I need a sidekick. Maybe I could have a robot sidekick. That'd be cool. Got to figure out how to make that work. Jeff, yeah, Geoff. Jeff was his name. Jeff the robot. Yeah, no, that was really good. So I'm pleased that they were able to feed you something. That is one of the nice things about some of the different platforms. You know, as much as YouTube censors me and hides my content, in the past, I have been exposed to a lot of things through their algorithm that I have found kind of beneficial to me. So I enjoy that. I'm still... I wish there were a lot more smaller creators on Rumble that I could find. But that is something that if you start using Rumble more and more, perhaps you can find some new people creating content that you could not find before. And if you find anyone, a small creator on Rumble that you like, let me know in the comments, because I'm always looking for new people to check out. Often we all kind of get the same suggestions. So if you got anyone good, let me know, and I'll check them out. That's for sure. The flesh pit is a giant entity living in the ground. Okay. I will check it out. Thank you for the suggestion. Having grown up in New Mexico, I never heard about the flesh pit. So I'll have to check that out. Not going to buy a gadget to hear you any better. I can always hear Ben Shapiro just fine. I I'm not sure what the issue is if you can't hear me, because as far as I can tell, my levels, I can look at my levels when I'm talking, and my levels are perfect. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Yeah, not sure what's going on with that. Anyway, that's all the show I have for you today. I appreciate y'all sticking around. If you made it this far, be sure to hit the like button on your way out. And I hope you all have a beautiful Monday. Hopefully it's not raining like it is here. And I may see some of you tonight, midnight on the East Coast, 9 p.m. on the West. If not, I'll be back tomorrow at noon on the West Coast, 3 o'clock on the East Coast for another edition of Coffee and Nuance. You all have a beautiful day. Until then, peace.